Hello, hello, and welcome to Drift Car. Wait, what was I gonna say? Anyways, we're gonna be whipping around some magnificent whips. For example, this, a Drift Legrand. If you don't believe me, check this out. Get in the boat. Let's give it a little, start up. Straight pipe V6. Let's go. So what I'm doing is I'm rating all my drift cars. At least for all my custom drift cars. Not base game like vanilla ones, because those are garbage. But I'm testing out like fully custom built, like from the ground up by me. So, yeah. Or at least are drift builds that are made out of pre-built cars, and then I've just kind of added on to it to make it better. That's what I'm testing out. So, yeah. So, this car actually I just built recently. It's actually a really good build. I got the idea from a friend that was using a Legrand, and he was like, it drifts pretty well but has no angle. I was like, huh. Well, let me see if I can make the no angle part of it, a bit better. He had a regular steering, not drift steering. Put drift steering on it, and it whips. So I was like, huh, that's cool. So I got the idea from him, and decided to build my own thing. This is what I got. It was an absolute machine. Handbrake. Also, that supercharger does sound good. Left foot braking. Oh, and curb tap. Whoa. Can I do a 360? Yes, I can. So overall, pretty good. I'd say this car's a magnificent whip. I give it a solid, I don't know, 7 out of 10. Fun, but it is kind of heavy to drive. Okay, well, our second vehicle is the Bronco Moonhawk. So, the mod used for this is the Classic Engine Expansion Pack. It makes about 900 horsepower. It has triple compound turbos. And it's got a tow hitch. I think you can see where this is going. I'm not talking about the tow hitch, but I'm talking like just that. Let's give this a whirl. It is a little bit grippy, which probably could be fixed, but honestly this thing needs traction so I can actually, get down and boogie. .360 and into a wall. Man. Also, it does sound really good. So this idea came from a YouTuber named Weston Champlin, who built a Ford Mustang with a Cummins in it. And I was like, huh, I want to try that. And that's what I got with this, was a triple compound turbo machine. And there's been many there's been many iterations of this thing, but this one's probably the best one because the old ones made like 1,500 horsepower. They were just uncontrollable, and I was like, I'm not rocking that. No. So that's what I got with this. So yeah. I forgot to rate it. I'd say this thing gets a 8 out of 10. Simply because even though it can't really drift that well, it's so much fun to goof around with. It also can make people very surprised. So I don't have anything for the Brock. I'm gonna do, but that config's still a work in progress, so I'm just gonna skip over that. Same thing for pretty much everything here. Barstow, yeah, also. D series. Now this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So our first contender, the landscaping truck. I don't know where I even got this idea. I think it's from a guy named Nathan Carhu, who was whipping around a Cat Eye Silverado, like a fleet truck, and just hooning it. So I was like, huh, it looks funny. So I made a drift truck out of it. And it whips. And a little brake tap. This thing actually, I haven't driven this thing in a while. This thing is good. Container tap. .360. Yes. So this thing is actually really fun. Like, seriously. It's a kind of a sleeper build too. People are really surprised about it. And yeah. Very funny. People love it. Community loves it. Yeah. So I'd have to give this one a, I'd say probably a, probably 9 out of 10. Simply because it's just fun. Like, there's not really much I can complain about with it. Now, I have another D-Series build. So this one is made, it's, if you couldn't tell, it's a diesel. And the way, so the idea I got this from was a voice crack, oh my. It was from a C-Boys TV, who made a, GMC drift truck that was diesel. And I was like, huh, that looks cool. So I made that, but in BeamNG. And the outcome was amazing. This thing is kind of grippy though, so it's a little bit difficult to whip around, but once you get used to it, you're good. Oh, that was... I'm a professional racing driver. So, yeah. It's a diesel. Very fun. Very cool. I'm gonna give this a solid 7 out of 10. Now the Grand Marshal. It's a show. That's the best way to put it. How can I put this? Hot dog. That's the best way to put this. It is a limousine that is colored like a hot dog that can drift. Hence its name, the Skitty Glizzy. But, yeah. Let's give this thing a whip, if you will. This thing is not meant for horses this small, but I can still manage. Usually you do need to use the handbrake a little bit more because you can't like tap the brake to get it to, you know, swing back out some. So usually you have to pull the handbrake or do a clutch kick. So this thing is a little bit heavy. That was way too close to the wall for comfort. Wow. Oh, man. Not the glizzy, no. I wasn't even trying to do a 360, but whatever. I don't want to do truck. Well, indeed a magnificent whip. It's a hot dog. It drifts. Solid 8 out of 10. Yummers. Alright, no. 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 Drift Sunburst. Ugh. Now the BX. This is actually one of my favorite drift cars in the entire game. So, this car I'm about to get out, right, this one right here, it has a very odd story. So basically, the way that this was made was one of my friends was like, huh, I want to learn how to drift. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna build a car that can, you know, you can learn with. And that is how this car was, you know, thought of. So I've been building this up for the past, probably ever since, you know, the BX got remastered in update 0.32. So ever since then, I've been adding on to it. And right now, this is basically its final form. And this thing's been around the block a few times. Both in forms of drifting, in terms of being in the hands of almost everyone. Like, I've taught so many people how to drift with this thing. And this thing is a whip. I call it the student drifter. It ain't meant to look prettiest, but man can it whip. Which actually, that brings on to another thing, is the front and the back. That's why there are like minimum body panels. The reason I have that is because, let's say if you tap a wall, worst case scenario with this, you'll maybe bend the tubes, or like maybe hit the radiator. But things like if you like tap the wall with like a regular car, you'll mess up a bumper, a headlight, the grill, the hood, stuff like that. But with this, you ain't gotta worry about that. And it's actually just way easier to work on the engine and stuff because it's just all right there. So it also allows for better cooling. Smooth at 360. Let's go. It's probably my most used drift car. Simply because it's most whippable. It's also the easiest to drift. I stalled. Whatever, we can recover. Why would my brake pedal just squeak? Never gonna stall. But yeah. That's a very solid car. I honestly, I feel like I don't even have to explain this. 10 out of 10. Like, amazing car. Love it. So now, my other BX. This one is more of like a personal vehicle. It's a street build. Not meant to be the fastest, the best. Not supposed to hit the highest angle and whatnot, but it's still a fun vehicle. So yeah, this thing is a... Honestly, I only made this because the regular street BX kind of sucks. So I was like, let me just make it a little bit better. And this is what I kind of came up with. That's what I mainly use to drift. Like the most one that I probably use the most, like currently. Can my brake pedal not squeak? I'm sorry, what's happening down there? Like, bruh. Also, why is the license plate glitch, bro? Way too wide. Or just wide enough, actually. $260? Yes. Another 360. I wanted to go in there. Whatever. Anyways, fun car, solid 7 out of 10. Alright, what's the next drift build? Not the Miramar, I don't have anything for that. The Pessima. Now this. That is the wrong configuration. There we go. So, I don't know how I even came up with this idea. It's a sleeper. It's basically just a drift Pessima that looks like the LX Pessima. I don't know what else to go from here. Rear-wheel drive, welded diff, drift steering. Simple and fun. This thing is loved by the community too. Like, everyone kind of likes this car. They find it really funny, but it's actually like a whip though. No more hubcap, bro! Oh, my alignment's cooked, isn't it? Yes. Well, I did not mean to go down here. Well, you know what I can just do? Well, that's a I lost hubcap. Shame. Well, that's better. Fun vehicle, goofy car. 8 out of 10. Alright, so, our final drift build. Possibly even the goofiest. It's a crocodile. That's baby blue. Why, I don't know. But it's funny and I enjoy it, so. And it's also a V6, just like the Legrand. Also, good old game, take your time. Thanks for the FPS drop. This thing is a boat, but it's fun. And also, this thing has a horrible issue wherever you hit dead zone. Or at the end of the steering rack, angle limit, whatever it's called. The thing just goes boing, boing, boing. And then that happens. So, yeah. Also, this is for some reason, like, any 350Z owners at, like, 2 in the morning. Well, that's yeah, it's a stalled. Shame. Yeah, goofy car, handles funny, can drift. 6 out of 10. I don't actually think I have any other drift builds. Um, hmm. Um, yeah. I don't know what to put here.